everyone, blessings. I hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to do a quick video just to give some explanation about why I chose Rwanda over some of the other countries, and also things for you to consider if you're thinking about moving to Africa. Excuse my appearance, I just finished working out, so I know I'm looking crazy, but I have really good lighting right now, so I figured I'd go ahead and film. All right, so if you go over to the Rwanda Embassy website, they have a lot of stats that you can read up on, okay? So a few of them are Rwanda is the second easiest place to do business within Africa. It is the 9th global best place to be a woman, and it's the 9th global safest country, which is very incredible. Now, not only is the 9th globally, but within Africa, Kigali is number 1 or number 2. I believe Egypt might be ahead of Kigali at the moment, but Kigali is number 2 within Africa for the safety factor, which is great. There is a 9.4% GDP growth that they have posted in 2019. So the growth rate is very good for the country. Now, the other factors that I think are very important are progression in terms of women's rights. In Kigali, over 60% of the parliament within the government is women. I think it's actually 64%, which is very impressive compared to the 22% that you would find globally in other countries. So they're doing a great job making sure women are progressing, and they're supporting them in getting them into positions and into the government. So I really appreciate that. Also, I believe that the environmental conditions are subjective, so you have to come to visit to see if this would work for you. But as for myself, one of the things that I really love about Kigali and Rwanda in general is that it's known as the land of 1,000 hills. And I love to go outside and exercise. This is the perfect place to do that because there's so many hills. There is absolutely no need for a gym membership at all. You can get your full workout just going outside. And the temperature is very moderate. So it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's just right there in the middle, very comfortable, and I love that. Also, I am looking to eventually get a place to stay, to buy a house specifically, and the legal rights in terms of housing are very favorable here. So you're able to purchase property as a foreigner, whereas in other countries in Africa, you're not able to purchase property as a foreigner. So you also want to take that into consideration. And not only can you purchase, but the pricing is very reasonable depending on where you're looking, the size of what you're looking for, and all of that. So those are things to also consider. One of the top reasons why I moved here was for the ease of buying and purchasing housing as a foreigner. Cost of living also is very reasonable. You have a lot of the open food markets. The main one is in Kimironko. There's so many things that you can find, little shops in your neighborhoods where you walk around. So the accessibility in terms of healthy eating, cost of living is very low. The nutrition factor is very high if you're into eating fruits and vegetables. So I really enjoyed that. I also, for me personally, do not have a desire to drive right away. So I think eventually I will drive. But one of the good things about this country is that they drive on the right-hand side, which is the exact same as the US, versus most African countries, they drive on the left-hand side. And let me tell you, I've tried that before, and it was an absolute disaster. So I like the fact that they already drive on the right-hand side here, so that whenever I do decide that I would like to purchase a vehicle and start driving, it will not be anything difficult for me. The infrastructure also is quite good. I have tested out the internet in a few locations so far, and I really haven't had much of a problem. So I do believe that the infrastructure is good. Now, infrastructure in terms of roads and all of that, is also pretty good. Now, we do have a lot of, within the neighborhoods, there may be some areas where you have the dirt roads versus the tarmac roads, but they do have a system where they will be rolling out the tarmac to a lot of these areas over time, and I like the organization behind that. So there is a plan in place so that you know exactly when that will be happening. But definitely the infrastructure here in this country, I think, is quite good compared to some of the other African countries. And I would also say the ease of doing business, as I mentioned before, it's number 2 for Africa. And eventually I would like to open up a business, maybe in the next couple of years. And I really like that you can easily open up a business within a couple of hours. Same day, you will open it up. So there are so many advantages of doing that here in Kigali. And I would say the top reason would be the visa length of time. So if you watch some of my previous videos, you would know that I obtained a 10-year visa from the U.S. Embassy in the U.S. This is not available here in the country. So if you're just coming here, yes, you can get a visa on arrival. However, it would be a single entry visa or a multiple entry, which I think the maximum amount of time on that, I believe, is 90 days. So you could get that extended maybe once or twice. However, it's much better if you get your visa at the U.S. Embassy so that you can get the 10-year visa. So when I compared that to other countries where you could only get a 1-year visa, a 2-year visa, the other maximum I saw was a 5-year visa in Gambia. The 10-year visa is very, very attractive. Now, of course, there are some stipulations there. So once you get the 10-year visa, you can only stay within the country for 6 months at a time. So you could just take a quick trip. For example, I would be going to a neighboring country just for a quick trip and then come back. But 6 months to me is very reasonable. So I'm definitely fine with that. And of course, this is just because it's a tourist visa. Now, once you get here, of course, if you open up a business, you can apply for a business visa. There are all other types of visas that you can apply for that will not have the requirement that you leave the country in order to then come back. So you can research all of those as well once you get here. But yes, definitely the visa is more attractive, at least in my opinion, for Rwanda versus some of the other countries. So those are my top reasons, and hopefully that shed a little bit of light on why I chose to stay here first. Now, I'm hoping that I can settle here. In the event I cannot settle, I do have some backup options. As I mentioned before, I lived in Kenya for 4 years, so I'm very familiar with that country. So Kenya also is an option in the event that I am not able to settle here. So I will keep you posted, and I hope this was helpful. I will talk to you later. Bye.